Hey guys, it's Kalen with House of Reveilla, and we're here in beautiful, sunny, hot, sweltering Atlanta during the World Cup. Well, not during the World Cup, but we got a couple more games here. But I'm here today with Chris, and we're here to talk about GoWāndr. So, for you guys that don't know, GoWāndr is an app that we've been working on for a good bit. An app that has to deal with travel and planning for trips. And we're here to share the story of how that came to be. So starting off, Chris, what was the genesis of GoWāndr?
Man, I guess we can go as far back as of it wasn't even about travel when you first started. It was more about the language learning.
Yeah.
And then and we took to a couple of startup events. Shout out to Startup Oasis in town Atlanta. And then from there we got a lot of feedback, and cause we pitched a couple ideas, a couple of directions of this app, but everybody was kind of leaning towards the travel aspect of it. That would call a lot of people's attention.
Yeah, it wasn't even. It was good feedback, but it was like a mini workshop.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so they got to start from there. So now considering it's July 2026, altogether it took us about a year and a half maybe to pull this off.
I'm trying to think. That meeting that we had.
That was around, I want to say around April-ish.
Yeah, because we originally came up with the idea of Travella, and Travella was supposed to be, like you said, like a mix of language and cultural exchange, and it came from our own personal experiences with language learning or learning about different cultures, but there was that slight travel tilt that we had to it.
Yeah.
And then from there we had the workshop, and that's when we completely changed the direction. So I would say we fully kind of formulated GoWāndr and started moving in that direction around maybe May. So I would say it's been
just over a year,
just shy of a year,
which is still damn good. Cause, I mean, we both work with some startups. It took years to launch, and we did it within a year.
Yeah, we
did it ourselves. We bootstrapped it. We didn't sleep the past year.
Not much
at all. We made a lot of pivots, and I guess what I think what people probably will want to hear is how we pulled it off. Because I guess a lot of people been through the startup journey, and we both know that startups have like a 90% fail rate for multiple reasons, and for us to get past that and actually make it to launch, to make it to the finish line, man, that's just amazing in itself. And we went through a lot, because we went through a lot of things. They could derail. They could derail the project. Could have killed it.
Yeah.
Killed the whole plan multiple times. Like we fought through a lot.
Well, I guess to start off, even when it comes to the progression of the app, where did we start off? What was our original plan as far as how to get GoWāndr off the ground?
I mean, as far as building the team that we originally had, or
not even the team. As far as how do we think that GoWāndr was going to?
Yeah. So the initial purpose of the app.
The initial purpose, and also, well, I would say it. We thought that we were going to get funded.
Yeah.
We were going to build up. My goodness.
Oh my God! It is like the loudest.
Since it wants to be heard, might as well be seen.
Right. Yeah, I heard these streets for real.
Right. I heard it from a block away, and it took a minute for it to go down the block. But starting off, we thought that we were going to need funding. So our main purpose was to find people to fund us to even make the app.
And that's the route that a lot of people go. People, and we've seen it. They go to Startup Oasis or any type of startup event, where they pitch an idea and try to get funding, and usually a lot of people stall right there. And so for us, I think this is something we've done over the years. We learn how to bet on ourselves.
Right.
So it's easy for anybody I get $1 million idea, fund me. You don't know who I am, you don't know my record or anything, and I'm not financially invested myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
So therefore, I had nothing to lose, and I think that's what a lot of startups kind of mess up at. But in our particular story, we believe in it so much.
Right.
Instead of, we didn't want to keep wasting time pitching, begging for money to fund this thing. How can we do it ourselves? And it's one of the many reasons why we never slept, because like we kept working, we had to make extra money.
Yeah.
A lot of ramen noodle nights, you know what I mean? Like scraping these dollars up to fund ourselves, because that's how much we believed in GoWāndr. That's how much we really felt that we had that $1 million idea. So like, yo, we bet on ourselves, and I think, and that was a great decision for so many reasons. One of the reasons it kept us agile to move our own way,
right,
to make the pivots that we needed to make. Because if we would have got an investor in early, you know, it would have been a lot harder to move, because they invested, so therefore they have some kind of control, you know what I mean? And so knowing that we fully own it ourselves, and you had to worry about any outside influences, we could move how we wanted to move. And so I'm glad that we did what we did. But that's one of the first decisions we had to make. Like, oh, are you going to keep pushing this thing until we find funding, or are we going to try to find a way to find the money ourselves?
And I think that's a way to think about it. A lot of people miss, when it comes to a business is a form of property. It's intellectual property. You know,
Yeah.
Of course there's different kinds of businesses, but either way, it is something that you own. And frankly, I think the first mistake a lot of people do when it comes to entrepreneurship is, instead of actually funding in the business, a little loud truck, my gosh, instead of funding in the actual business and what needs to be done for the business to run, they pay money for other people to tell them what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do the research. You know how a business is supposed to be ran. Instead of buying that car or buying that, you know, I don't know, whatever people buy.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, it's good to save up and try to have your own funding in some way, shape, or form, or make it a communal thing, or whatever you need to do.
I mean, especially if you really believe in it.
Yeah.
If you believe in it as you claim you do, you'll put up.
Yeah.
You know, like what they say, put the money where your mouth is.
Right.
And that's what we did. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you had to find it. You know what I mean?
And the thing too, when it comes to getting investors, like you said, a lot of people don't understand, it will turn your business into another job.
Yeah, that's
And the point of having your own business is to gain that freedom.
Yeah, you're gonna be in safe. Yeah, I kind of see it as a record deal. You know what I'm saying? Because when they sign you, they give you money. You have to answer to them now.
Have to.
I mean, no matter how much that little percentage is, they still got a percentage of that.
Right.
And I think another thing that appealed to me, or helped us make this decision was, I don't know who we were talking to. I think we came across an investor at an event somewhere.
Yeah.
And they were saying, like, basically, you have an investor involved. You're developing. It's not just a person giving you money. It's a relationship now.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's a long-term relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So you get an investor. I think you were saying, like, you can at least spend 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time to commit it to somebody you barely know,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know where they're coming from, what their goals are, what their intentions are. And so, and of course, you know, when it's your idea, it's your baby, you want to be very protective of that.
Right.
And I feel like, so I'm glad that, you know, we just kept it in-house between ourselves, and we found a way to pull our pennies together and make it happen. And even though it was a harder route for us, but I don't think we would have launched right now if we didn't. Honestly, we probably still been trying to like find more funding, or still be working on an old idea, you know, until the idea that we landed on now. And so I'm glad we went the route of, you know, like I said, we found the money, and this appeal to this startup thing. This is something I've been doing my whole career.
It's life.
You know what I mean? As far as betting on myself, because like, yo, I didn't go to school, I didn't go to college. You know what I mean? I bet on myself that I can teach myself this. I bet on myself I can start my own business. I bet on myself to buy my own camera to launch a podcast, like whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Or a photo studio, like anything. I bet on myself. You know, and I was sitting here thinking about you know, we listen to like one of those YouTube videos. It's about like long-term investment, and you know, we are taught to go to, you know, graduate from high school, go to college, get a corporate job, and then get a IRA. You know, then get the 401k, stock market, and all the different things. And we see the way direction the country is going. You know, and it's been a long time. Like this ain't just the past 2-3 years. This has been going on for like decades now.
Yeah.
We're going out this direction. And I was really thinking about that, man, because like, especially me being a little bit older, I'm like, yo, you know, I'm not a stock market type of person. I mean, like, I'm not a gambler. You know, 401k, you can't really live off that anymore.
Nah,
so it's like,
even got 401k. A lot of companies don't have 401k.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So like, all those play a factor in. Like, yo, it kind of help us come to the decision of betting on ourselves, because like, yo, instead of betting on them, where, you know, anything can happen. Like even the stock market, one event anywhere in the world can crash a market. You know what I mean? My thing is investing in our own ideas. At least we have a little bit more control over it. You know what I mean? And I already bet on ourselves, and we have more control if it succeeds or fails. You know what I mean? And yeah, we took some L's. I took an L scrap my whole career, but my L's led me to my dubs. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think all that played a part in this. Like, you know, yeah, like, let's do it. Let's put our money together and make it happen ourselves.
I think that's one thing when it comes to the investing angle, especially, is a lot of people think about the long-term commitment that it takes to build a business. And the thing about an investment is it might feel quicker, but you're not going to have that kind of freedom.
Yeah.
Now, it's good to think in a more long-term sense. In this day and age, we operate a lot on instant gratification.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know, a lot of us overall do not know how much we operate on instant gratification.
Right.
To the point where we are not willing to take that slog to be it a year, be it 2 years, to get to a certain point in our business, understanding that at first you will take losses, but you have a mix of, you know, impatience, or it might be uncertainty, a lot of things that keep you in the dark when it comes to really throwing yourself into business. And I remember one thing that really could keep you caught up is just thinking about it. You're just constantly thinking with no action. The biggest thing to do is just to start doing. And that's the thing with GoWāndr. No matter what was going on, we just did.
Right.
You know, and we had a lot of ups and downs, but through those ups and downs, you're going to troubleshoot things. You're going to have problems. Problems are going to come, but you got to, I mean, as an entrepreneur, don't you think that one of the main things you are is a problem solver?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's most of the job is problem solving. But also bounce off your point about having a long-term business. Even before they make it to a business, a lot of people can't commit to their own ideas for long term.
Right.
Like, I mean, like I lost count of how many people came to me with great ideas and they never pursued them themselves.
Right, never did anything.
Yeah, or they may pursue it for like a month and it didn't work out, they just dropped it to the side.
Right,
you know?
The first inconvenience.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like anything great gonna be inconvenient, you know what I mean? And so like for us to be committed this long, and mind you, you're doing other projects on top of this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't even the only thing we were doing, because there was a long period of about 3 months where it was really kind of like a lull.
Yeah. I mean, we kept hitting roadblock after roadblock, man.
Yeah.
And oh
Big
my God,
roadblocks,
like we had stories like I wouldn't even expose it right now, man. But people like it could have really killed the product. It really could have. You know what I mean? And then I think another thing I'm grateful for over the past year, my skills are still growing as a designer over the past year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On top of that, so they kind of help. And then, you know, and of course, you know, me and we've been working on projects together for about a decade now. So
it's actually been over a decade.
Yeah, so we know the process. And we know every idea that we start off with, never what it is at the end. You know what I mean? Like idea, yeah, it's going to evolve and it's going to mature. It's going to change, and GoWāndr is no different. But I'm so glad because what we originally envisioned was dope. You know what I mean? But now what we have now is so much greater now. And I'm so excited to be able to now say, like, yo, it's done. Like, you know, it's launched. Like, yo, we got approved by Apple. Yeah, we got approved by the Play Store.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's so much. And now, like, we're more than just designers now. Like, you know, we ship the whole product. We wore many hats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're the product owner, man. You know, we're the PM. Like,
we're the developers.
We're the developer. The marketers, the branding. Like, we did everything ourselves for the most part.
Now that goes into another question that I have. I have. I'm asking. I wonder what we did. What we've been doing for a year. Can you give me the brief? But no, a question that people might have: what was the original idea and purpose for GoWāndr? How did it evolve, and why did it evolve in that way?
Yeah, man, that's the only way we can go with this. Well, you know, originally GoWāndr, we planned on being a very unique, creative booking platform where, you know, we were offering flights to hotels from around the world. But at the same time, we held it as a space to hold all your travel inspiration all in one spot.
Right.
And we came through a lot of challenges. You know, we went definitely took in more than we can chew at that time, you know.
Man.
After learning the details of what's involved, because, you know, we learned that, you know, like you can track, anybody can hop on the internet and track a flight.
Right.
But to be able to sell a flight is a whole different process.
Boy.
Different airlines, contracts.
Yeah.
That's just airlines. We ain't talking about the hotels.
Yeah.
And you know, and then we small fish on top of that. And you know, and these contracts cost a lot of money to have access to these platforms to sell.
Right.
And there's a whole different process to even get approved to do it. And like that was a lot, and it was a lot of logistics involved to get that point. Even though, because like the way we imagined how it would look, that was done pretty quickly. We had that done within a couple of months. But yeah, but that was the original intention to do the booking. But now GoWāndr is no longer a booking platform. Now GoWāndr it's a travel app that help you make decisions.
Right.
Now GoWāndr is, before you do even a booking, you have to think about where I want to go. You know what I mean? Why I want to go. You know, like it's like we did here. It started with a thought, and that way GoWāndr starts. GoWāndr starts with you at the very beginning. Like, yo, I want to take a trip. Where I want to go. You know, we take a couple of places I want to be. And now GoWāndr, how it has a place you can show all the inspiration stuff you find on, you know, TikTok and YouTube and Instagram or websites. And you know, stuff get messy really easily. Like, you know, you lose track of your bookmarks and screenshots. So now you have a spot where you're taking all the information and organizing it in one spot. And now you kind of can take a step back and look at, okay, damn, yeah, I am feeling this spot. I do want to go here for the food, or I do want to go here for the events, or like the nightlife here, you know.
Right.
So now it's like, you know, so now you get on inspiration. Now you're inspired. Now I want to go somewhere. But a lot of people get stuck right there.
You see, now the shift when it comes to GoWāndr is very interesting because from the start we were focused more on the last steps. You know.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we had the Echo Journal where you would save your inspirations, which, you know, that is part of the beginning. But we were so honed in on the booking and on the stays, and that's where you have to look into what the product is and the model, because to get into, I'm not going to bore y'all with the boring details, but to get into the actual function of having those kinds of functions within the app is when you're like Chris said, there's so many contracts, there's so much red tape, and when you find somebody that has those contracts, you'll end up in a position where you might be able to integrate it into your app, but nobody could pay for it outright because, again, you have to be a travel agency, which House of Revea, not yet. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things. We don't know what the future holds.
Right, facts.
But as of right now, as you guys are seeing the video, whenever just look at the release date, we are not a travel agency.
Right.
So we were not able to get the seamless APIs that would allow you to just pay and get the flights, and get the booking. We had to use another third party.
Yeah.
And with that third party, you had more stipulations. And it ended up being a business model, because anything you do, even with app building, it's a business model.
Right.
Every app is a business.
Right.
It started to get to a point where it wasn't a feasible business. So how do we mitigate this? Well, we were so focused on the back part, and that really was what was holding us up. Let's take it all the way back to your first thoughts, to the beginning of a trip, which is always the planning phase. And, you know, I know, for instance, with me, there are so many places in the world I want to see. There's so many places in the world to visit. And a lot of people are caught in between, especially if you're in a group or something like that. It's like, you know, you have the girls' trip coming up. Do you want to go to Miami? Or do you want to go to Dubai?
Right.
You're trying to figure it out. It's not just a simple... it's not simple because these two places are completely different, have different distinct things to offer, and you need some direction and you need input. So that's where GoWāndr came in. It's focused on the beginning, and that, my friends, is an example of a pivot.
Yeah.
And that is something that a lot of people in the business world do not like to do. A lot of people hate pivoting.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, and we had to be bold enough to pivot. You know,
Right.
like I said, if we did, we wouldn't have the product at the very end. So I'm glad that we was able to analyze and sit back on it and make the bold move that was needed to make. And like I said, now we went from being the very end, the ending of the traveling process, so now we're in the very beginning of the process.
Right.
And I think it's cool. I mean, because like I want traveling to be fun, you know, and we designed everything with intention within the app. I didn't want to feel like paperwork inside the app. We had to organize everything, you know what I mean? So, you know, even down to the colors, where everything was positioned, how inspiration is gathered, you know, I want to make sure it was a pleasant experience throughout. You know, because it should be an exciting thing. Like, okay, which place do I want to go?
It's true, traveling is exciting, but there are some people that make it a chore. There's a lot of different ways where it can become a chore. And even in the beginning of coming up with the conception of GoWāndr and the goal of it was to make traveling fun.
Yeah.
You know, the slogan, gosh, no, it escapes me right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to y'all. But, you know, the goal is to make traveling fun. Because I know there's a lot of instances where it can be stressful. I mean, traveling, for thousands of years, you've heard about the stereotype of the weary traveler. Because traveling can be stressful. All the logistics. It's a lot of logistics, and logistics ain't fun.
No.
But with something like GoWāndr, it takes some of that pressure off you, and it's all it's centralized in one place.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have the playlists in YouTube. You don't have to have something in the group chat. You don't have to have the Instagram reel saved and the TikTok saved. It's all just right at your fingertips, right in GoWāndr, and it's shareable.
Yeah, I think that's another cool feature that we add into that to make sure that you know, it's good for anybody who travels solo or in a group. You know, if they are in the group, you make it easy for them. Like, okay, well, this is this person I gathered. Here's my thoughts. Mm-hmm. You know, then you share it out, and then they can look over your inspiration. They can look over your notes, and then and they can say any concerns they may have. Is the dates okay? Is that kind of out of budget, or I'm worried about safety, whatever the case may be, and they can send it right back to that user.
Right. And
then, like, say it's like 5 people in that group chat, and all 5 people respond back to that original person. And then they can really just sort out and help make a decision, okay, based on our feedback and based on what y'all said, based on how everybody feel, we're going here. You know what I mean? And once you commit to a trip, now GoWāndr can help you, okay, let's actually start planning this trip and get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, let's get out the group chat now. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's why I like GoWāndr, because so now we're taking you from your very first start of a trip all the way down to committing to a trip. Right. You know, and if from there, everybody else handling the booking stuff. We help you get there. We help you make it happen, because we meet people all the time that, I wish I woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know what I mean? This GoWāndr eliminates that. You know what I mean? You trust GoWāndr with that, like, no, do it. If that's what you want to do it. Yeah. Because we both met so many people over the years with so much regret because they didn't take that chance or take that step or book that trip or whatever the case may be. And, I think that will make GoWāndr really stand out. You stay on top of you, like, okay, you looking at Japan, okay, all right, yeah, you looking at Cuba, pick one. And, okay, now you pick one, let's pick a date. Okay, cool. What the budget looking like? Okay, what you want to do when you get there? So now it's like me walking you through it, because sometimes people need that extra motivation. Because there's a lot of people who are procrastinators. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it all starts in your mind's eye.
Yeah.
If you can picture it, you can do it.
You can do it. You can make it happen. And at times life be life in you. You know how that goes. Unexpected bills might kick in, or life, or anything can happen. Right. But at least we had to GoWāndr, like, don't lose sight of what you wanted to do. We can still make it happen regardless. Even if you delayed a little bit, you can still make it happen. Right. And I feel like GoWāndr can do that, and it'll make it special. I swear, we sat right in the middle of a shipping lane. We didn't realize it.
Very good, it is, man. I'm just glad the truck isn't driving right in front
of the
restaurant. My Lord. But I guess what lessons? We could just part on this. What lessons from GoWāndr have you learned that a lot of people could gain?
Oh man, I think you gotta be relentless. Don't take breaks. And that's something that we learned doing past projects. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like never put it to the side because you may not pick it back up. Mm-hmm. So no matter how hard it got with GoWāndr, we still kept making progress of some sort. Right. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about, originally, we were dealing with an international team basically. You know what I mean? Like we were dealing with people in London, we were dealing with people in India. Right. We talking about the time changes and the different roles.
Dealing with people in
colliding with people.
Yeah,
Indonesia. Like it's a lot going on, and it's easy to get overwhelmed. It's easy to give up. But you you really, to me, always been the type of person is, you can do anything you want in life if you want it bad enough.
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to. How bad do you want it? Because I feel like you want it bad enough, it's going to happen.
Right.
If you don't pull off a goal, to me, like, you didn't want it bad enough. Like,
Exactly.
if you just think it's just a cool idea or something to work on because you're bored or whatever, that's not the right mindset to have. But my thing is, like, we had this great idea. I want to see it happen.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love how we had the gift of taking an idea and bringing it to life. We've done that with multiple products. We're doing it in the app space now. And I think it's cool that, we did it ourselves, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's big.
Yeah, we did it ourselves. We did it in a year and a half. We did it by being self-funded.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, if you don't own terms, every time something had to be done or hard decisions had to be made, we did it. We weren't scared to do it. I mean, cause basically we blew the app up. The original purpose of the app, we tore it apart.
Yeah,
and rebuilt it quickly.
We had to go scorched earth.
Yeah. Like we did right before lunch, and then rebuilt to what we have now. So it's like, we had to do what we had to do to make it work. I hope you're playing safe on that segue.
Gosh, man, I wish I had a hot ride like that.
I know, right? Oh man, but yeah, man. So I guess that's the advice I'll part with, man. Like, do you want it bad enough? Because I feel like you have an idea and then you make a decision right then and there that you want it bad enough for it to happen, or you believe in it bad enough for it to happen, you good.
Yeah, and to add on that, I guess this would be my parting words for the video. When it comes to an idea, like Chris said, you don't always have to be on 10, but be on it. Sometimes you're gonna run, which is great. It's great when you run. Savor the running. Sometimes you're gonna walk, sometimes you're gonna crawl. But just make that progress. Know that we live in a very sprint-centric kind of time. And I'm not talking about sports. Life is a marathon. You're supposed to be in it for the long run. So allow yourself the patience, allow yourself the grace to delve into something new, explore what needs to be done in order to get something done. And I mean, I think in something like this, you have to being kind to yourself goes a long way. And no, I'm not a therapist. I don't have any counseling as of yet, any counseling service as of yet. But I mean, genuinely, this is something that me and Chris have had to experience, where it's like you're going to have your ups and downs, and sometimes you are going to feel like an idiot. I mean, just straight up, you're gonna feel like, oh my gosh,
I'm in over my head with this thing.
Yeah, like, boy,
why are you doing this?
What is going on here? I'm drowning. I've fallen and I can't get up.
Right.
But there were gonna be times where you feel like, man, I made a really bad decision with that. I shouldn't have worked with this person. I shouldn't have done that. My gosh, I'm gonna kick myself in the rear end down the alley. And let yourself soak. Sure, like your emotions are valid, but it doesn't define you. These moments don't define you. I mean, think about how many times Thomas Edison had to fail in order to usurp the light bulb. I mean, think about the amount of times different people had to fail. Every success that you see comes with failure. And the thing about, I could even say, like tying it back with language learning. I believe that anybody can learn a language, but the kind of people that I know cannot learn a language are the kind of people that want to fool themselves into thinking that they have a higher level than they do. Whenever I come across somebody and they do not have the humility to really evaluate where they are and move accordingly, I look at them and I say, you're not going to learn that language. Because it takes humility. It takes looking like a fool sometimes in order to make those goals. So allow yourself to look like a fool. Don't have an ego about it. It really, I mean, everybody says stay humble. Hashtag stay humble. It's a good thing. It's a nice thing to put on a shirt. But if you ain't living it, you're going to pay for it. So I think that kind of covers it.
Man, I appreciate y'all being with us throughout the journey. Help us get to the finish line. We really appreciate that. And you did it, man. Like you're there. It's available for download. Check us out, man. Play around with it. Have fun with it, man. Like we had fun putting this together. We designed with intention. Every little detail, from the way it looked at it, functioned, everything. So definitely check us out, and I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. And the app should be in the description. Download for iPhone and Android. So check it out. GoWāndr.